Alrighty, hello and salutations. Hopefully you can see me, hear me. Check this out. Alright, here we go. We got ZEE German Bratwurst. Try to zoom in a little bit. Again, this is going to be my first video. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys enjoy. So I am new to YouTube. I'm just figuring out how this goes, just to have fun. Alright, so we're going to start. I brought this out as my own, but in case I don't like this one, it should be alright. I will say, and this is the ZEE German from Figurehead, Seattle. I will say that in getting this meal, I left at 12 o'clock, and I'm now eating it after 11. Here's a cross section. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So yeah, there was some issues where I was going to use a coupon to basically pay for this, and I assumed that in that coupon that I was the right address, and I had to go to a different store location where they actually sold the bratwurst. Once I got there, I figured out that the coupon didn't cover the full amount. So the letter I received in the mail was completely false. Pretty good, brown mustard. I'm not gonna rate the sauce to start with, but and it's pretty hot, so I have a little bit of time. So just a little down essentially, I wasted about $5 in transit to get to this place. And it's going to affect my review 100%. I'm going to try to categorize it in several different levels or categories, statistics. Ease of travel, ease of getting the food prepared, and then enjoying the meal. So that's one. Personally, I don't believe that if you're going to go and spend your own time after work or after school or whatever, and it's taking you 10 hours essentially to eat the food, it's probably not worth it. I'll just say that. So if it's a local food restaurant and it's taking, where I live currently, gas is about $4. So for someone else who's driving in Seattle, if they're gonna go from their home base essentially to the location and then figure out that their coupon doesn't work, and then they have to go to a different store location to get that coupon for the bratwurst, and then finding out that it's not fully covered. Essentially, that's gonna affect it, but I still I don't see the difficulty, like the needed difficulty, when you're just, if you have 30 minutes, you have 2 hours, that's great. And if that's going to be your day, that's great. So as an ease, particularly out of 1 out of 5, I'm going to give it a 1.5. If you live nearby or you're a local and you have friends that can take you, that would bump up all the way to maybe a 4. In terms of being in the restaurant itself, it was pretty small and there was a fundraiser, so that definitely does affect the speed and customer service and the friendliness that the establishment is able to provide. So I'm gonna try to be impartial with that rating at least, because there's 30, 40 people. I will say, when I came in, and I ended up coming in having to leave to get more cash because I just assumed it was free coupon, you get a free hot dog. That was completely wrong. So during the fundraiser, everyone else, I saw maybe like 10 people pay, or at least go up to the cashier. But everyone else, they were, their work ethic it was like that. They were bumping out the different bratwursts. But when I went to pay, I paid for my meal, and I ended up waiting over an hour after being served. Um, After not being served by everyone else. So everyone else essentially they got their meals, 30, 40 people, and I had to wait. I was like in front of 20 or 25 people, but I had to wait behind 40 people. So that didn't make sense to me too. So that's another thing that's going to affect the rating is I was at least 10th in line, and I had to wait behind 40 people, paying and unpaying during the fundraiser. I just assumed that people who were participating in the fundraiser they didn't have to pay for their meals. Um, so it definitely did seem a little bit tight knit, and it was like a friendly event. But I had to wait behind multiple people, and that was pretty frustrating. So yeah, this is finally cooled down. I'm gonna give it a taste. I'm actually gonna taste the bratwurst itself. Yeah, this is the piece that I'm gonna eat at the end. Is that I want to rate it all separately. So let's just start with the sauerkraut. Never had it. I've made my own like pickles and like other things, pickled foods. Never had pickled cabbage. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. I'm guessing it tastes like it should taste. I do enjoy pickled foods, so I'm just gonna say it's like, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. I never try to give a rating that's perfect because there's always room for improvement. And if you're rating something for the first time, you don't know what those improvements are or the recipe that they used, and if they're still trying to perfect it themselves. All right, so I already spoke to the sauce. It's like average, regular brown mustard. It is really good. So the sides and the sauce, I'm gonna give that a 4.5. Nothing to complain about. It's delicious. And then let's taste the bread. This one, I'm not gonna rate it on it is crunchy. That's because the bread is really good. The bread is really good. Yeah, I like the bread, but I'm not gonna really rate the bread on the crunchiness because I did have to put it in the oven. Um, but there's still some chewy part in the center where the bratwurst was. It's a really good bun. I don't even need to use this. No, I'm not even using that. It's a really good bun. Alright, let us try the bratwurst. I'm actually gonna see if I'm recording real quick. I don't know how long my camera lasts. Alright, we are good to go. Let's continue this review. I'm actually really excited to get into this. I selectively brought my own lemon because who doesn't like lemon? But yeah, I'm gonna wait on that until I try. There we go. And look at this. Look at that. It's super juicy. There we go. I still don't know if you can see me. Wow. 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 I'm surprised. I'm definitely taken aback a little bit. I was not expecting that. I was honestly kind of expecting a little bit of disappointment. Um, at least in terms of, you know, because it's not, okay, so I'm not going to say it's not fresh, but what I am going to say is it was prepared around, let's say, like 5 o'clock. So I'm eating it now at like 10, 11. It's like actually after 11 o'clock. So I was going to expect to downgrade the review based off of the bratwurst being, slightly not fresh. It's not uh, stove to table to mouth. But no, I'm definitely taken aback. It is smoky. It is really rich. It has flavor. The only thing I will say is there is a tiny bit of toughness, and this is going to be, you're probably not going to experience this if you choose to go there. But because I had to wait over 5 hours to eat this, a part of the skin was slightly tough, and that's just because of the side of the side that was heated up by the oven. So that I'm gonna the I don't even know what to say. So I don't want to use a 10 or I don't want to use a five rating. I want to use it out of 10, and I never give. Um, Again, I never give a perfect review on the first meal that I've tried at the first time I go to an establishment because I don't know if there could be some days where it's good, some days where it's bad. You get a good employee who knows how the recipe works and the preparation, blah blah blah. Like I think you get that. I'm just wanting to like dig into this, like really just smash this off camera, but I think you guys deserve to hear the rest. So let us get into it. I'm gonna give it just because I've never had a cooked like it tastes smoked. I've had hot links, I've had hot dogs. Um, I probably had like Italian or German sausages and stuff like that, but a German bratwurst, no, I've never. Nope, excuse me. I've never experienced anything like this. It's somewhat similar to a hot link in the terms of, like you put the link on the grill, you cook it, you smoke it. It takes several hours after the preparation of building it, putting it together, like, you know. But this is new. This is different. So I'm gonna give it an 8, definitely, just for it being something that completely changed my entire experience with the bratwurst and my day. I will say that I would go back again. I would go back there weekly for this, but would I wait 5 hours, 10 hours out of my day for it? On a blue moon, I will say on a blue moon, on a red moon, it would have to be some kind of spectacular event for me to want to waste or use 5 hours for a singular bratwurst. So there's that. In terms of it just being, a bratwurst, and this is my first time trying one, I'm gonna bump the score from an 8 to maybe 8.7. I definitely would go back before I gave it a 9.3, but there is nothing wrong with it. It is cooked to perfection. Even if I overcooked it, which I didn't, but let's say I overcooked it a little bit longer, higher temperature, um, and I like let's say ruined it, it would still be an 8. Like you could try to mess this up, and it would still be a 7 in my book. Um, but yeah, let me get a sprig of just to cleanse my palate. I would take the milk, but I just had to have the lemon and take that out there. Yeah, let's get into this. It's what you guys are waiting for, right? Took a big bite. It is spectacular. Overall, I'm still going with the 8.5 or 8.7. Sorry, 8.7. If I have this meal again, and I don't have to worry about, let's say, like the ease of travel and preparation, because it did take an extensive amount of time for it to. After I paid for it, I waited over 45 minutes to get it. Um, ease of travel, you know, after 5-10 hours. That's my biggest complaint. But that was also slightly personal. And you know, when you decide to just randomly show up at a place you've never been before, you can expect any kind of thing to happen. So I will say that I didn't know that there was going to be events locally where the establishment was. So that definitely affects it. I'm going to pause right quick to see if I'm still recording, and then I will be back. All right, we are good to go. So to continue where we left off, I really, again, I really just want to finish this and just nom. But I owe you guys my authentic and thorough review because there was local events that I didn't plan for those things. So that's personal. I can't blame anyone for that. It was packed. It was full of people. But I will say, if I was going to rate their authenticity and friendliness versus customer service, I would say that I didn't feel as though I didn't really feel all that welcome, to be honest. Again, I don't want to bring any kind of political, societal, like, you know, politics type stuff. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about skin color. I don't want to talk about gender ideation, any of that in my reviews. So I'm not going to comment personally about how I feel I was treated as being, let's say, light skinned. I'm not going to talk about that. That's something that I will speak to myself about and hopefully process that and hopefully build a relationship with these people if I do decide to go there again. Moving forward, if you do decide to go there, please expect a different reality than the one that I face personally. Um, all right, so I'm gonna take another bite because I've been speaking to you, and I just want you to enjoy this with me. Let's go. It is so delicious. I really wish I could give a more descriptive and accurate rundown on, excuse me, It's so good I'm drooling. You know it's good if you're drooling. But specifically though, other than it, like there's obvious smokiness, there's flavor. Um, I can't particularly taste like any type of hints, like like hickory smoke, applewood smoke, stuff like that. I can't really taste anything like that. So I'm not judging it off specifically on the hints and textures, because that would be another category to review. I'm not trying to make it overly complicated and long. Um, but again, because this is my first video on YouTube, happy to be here. I hope you like the video. And this is the first time I'm trying to bratwurst the ZEE German Bratwurst. I don't really know how to give an accurate, it tastes like this, then it in a large description of the flavors. I can't really give that to you right now. But the sauce, the sauerkraut, not sauce, the mustard, brown mustard, they're perfect. It's what you expect when you go to an establishment and get food. It's not like it's going to be fast food and it's full of, a bunch of different things you might not possibly know. Um, but yeah, if you decide to go to Figurehead, I highly recommend you buy yourself a pint or a pitcher, bring some friends, family. There's a beautiful outdoor section. I was able to listen to some live music. During the fundraiser, there's also there's some people going through. I was also able to not necessarily participate in the fundraiser, but there was live music. There were children playing violin. It was pretty cool. Definitely family friendly. So if you enjoy that aspect, going out, spending time in the community, it is also near the Fisherman's Wharf. So there's going to be a lot of other places you can walk down to the pier. There are other stores. There's even a barber shop that I saw. So there's really no limit to that area. If you're specifically going to spend some time with friends, family, after you've eaten your meal before, you're going to enjoy yourself 100%. I guarantee you, you're not going to have a bad time. So, in terms of the scenery, kind of the expectation of you get what you pay for, it is over and out, 100%. They are not playing games, they are not messing around. You will not want to refund. I definitely recommend leaving a tip if that's something you're interested in. Again, it was a perfect meal for what I was able to afford, the amount of time that I took. I would definitely plan it a little bit different. Probably go there a little bit earlier. See if you can find anything on Google to kind of avoid traffic or avoid the events. I'm also coming from a place where I just don't really like being in crowds. I don't like being around too many people, so definitely don't plan to go to Figurehead if you're going to get stressed out by 500 people in one location. Um, but again, this was an amazing experience for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you head over to Figurehead and try it yourself. Salutations, aloha. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.